This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. We're at the new Haymaker Gym, which is a million miles away from his original one. It's up the road.
Yeah, not too far. And they're like moving, so I want to carry things to the new location.
Because it was quite a sad moment when you obviously were pulling the ring down, putting all the Instagram pictures up, and it was like...
It was the end of an era.
End of an era, but...
The new one starting.
Starting about 10 yards up the road.
Yeah, it's a new one's emerged now, so I'm happy with it.
Okay, let's start with obviously the news today that your fight will be shown on the channel Dave.
Dave, yeah.
Which was an interesting choice, but
it's not your typical channel for sport, or they've never done a live boxing event or live sporting event before, so it's new to them. Yeah, it's new to the boxing public and new to the public in general. But it's a free view channel, so anyone with a television set can watch it for free, and that's exactly what I wanted for this comeback. I wanted this particular comeback fight after the first and after 3.5 years. I didn't think it would be fair for me to put a pay restriction in front of it. So if you want to see me after all these years, you got to sort of pay for it. Or I just wanted to make sure that it was available to everybody. I said that from day dot, and that was the mission that I gave my guys. I wanted a platform which reached as many people as humanly possible, and Dave has stepped up to the plate, and we've got some great ideas for the production, and I think it's going to be a fantastic show to watch on TV, and obviously to be there live.
There was a lot of speculation over the
broadcast,
for this. Obviously, all the normal names, all the normal broadcasters were mentioned. Could it be them? Could it be them? But were there serious talks with people like Sky, BoxNation, ITV? Were there serious negotiations?
There was no conversations whatsoever with anybody, with any pay channels. There's only conversations with free to air channels. That was it. That was what I want. That's what I wanted for this fight. So so that's basically the answer. There was no conversations with Sky or BoxNation or any pay platform whatsoever.
There were also some rumours circulating that your fight would be shown on YouTube. Do you know where these came from?
I heard those same rumours. Everyone loves YouTube. Everyone has YouTube. I'm sure the fight will end up being on YouTube not long after the fight, but it won't be screened live. I think live sport in general is going to be moving towards something like YouTube. You'll be able to watch, I think the Olympics, you watch Olympics live on YouTube, I think, a few years back. And I think that's the way sport in general is going to move towards, sort of going digital online. But for this particular fight, it's on Dave. So tune in.
Dave on Dave.
Dave on Dave, yeah.
Dave on Dave. Obviously, with the channel Dave being their first professional boxing,
first sporting event.
Sporting event,
yeah.
Rather.
Live event, yeah.
Rather. Are you at all concerned about how the production will go?
No, I've been. That was one of my biggest concerns. So we've hired a great team of people who are well experienced in sporting events, combat sports, and boxing, and it'll be a few treats for you. It may look a little different, but it will be very entertaining, and I'm looking forward to the response that I get after this fight, or what the production gets after this fight. Because boxing has been in the very sort of a similar format for a long time. Trying to change it a little bit, mix it up a little bit, but not too far, not to distract you from what's actually happening in the ring, because that's the only thing that matters, the boxing in the ring. But trying to give it a little bit more razzmatazz, if and when we can.
Any decisions on who will be presenting, who will be commentating? Have those decisions been made?
Yeah, they've all been. Everything's set up. The lighting consultant, the ring, the ropes, the colours, the music, the ring wall, everything's done. And there was no mad rush to announce it, in my opinion. It's not like I'm trying to get people to buy the fight. If the fight was on a pay-per-view platform, it would have been announced 7 weeks ago. I'd have been then drumming it home, pay for this, because I know how hard it is to put the hand in the pocket to be sold on an event, to pay for it, because that's what I've been doing my whole career. I've been flogging pay-per-view, and it's nice not to have to do that. It's just tune in and watch it. It's free. It's nice. It's the first time I've been on a free-to-air platform since Glenn Kelly. After I beat, probably about over 10 years. So for the last 10 years, you've had to have actually had either Sky Sports, BoxNation, Setanta, or some other paying platform. Even in the States, HBO and Showtime will play. So I've been on a pay-per-view platform since I was on the BBC, which is a long, long time ago. And it's nice. I'm getting a really good response on Twitter and on Facebook. People are really excited that they don't have to put their hand in the pocket, which is nice. So I'm happy about that.
Did Dave approach you?
No, we approached them. And said, would this be something you'd be interested in? We approached a few different people. A few people loved the idea. A few people wasn't for them. But Dave, in an ideal world, have got a perfect demographic. It's a younger crowd. 18 to 35s. It's the hardcore boxing fans. So they're going to be watching anyway. If you flick on it, a lot of the stuff they have on their show anyway is sort of driven towards sort of a boxing crowd, a young sporting crowd. So it's just nice to have a television partner that's sort of like-minded. They understand what we want to do with the show, and they're going to really help push it and make it as big of an event as it can be.
Will they be repeating your fight for the next 40 years?
No doubt they will be.
If it's a classic, maybe.
If it's a classic, it'll be repeated every 2 hours, hopefully. Yeah.
When you first announced, obviously, your comeback, a lot of people saw that you were linking up with the Salter brothers, and like I said, at the time there was no broadcaster announced. All these things are now, where you're 10 days away from the fight, fitting into place. First of all, how's your relationship with the Salter brothers been in regards to this fight?
It's been great. Everything we sat down and planned out has panned out. Everything I said that I wanted. Off the bat, it was okay. I want to be on free to air. I don't want it to be behind a paywall. That's the first thing I wanted for this particular fight. That's exactly what I wanted. And they said okay, and they made it. As I said, they contacted different people, the different options, and they believed this was the best option for me. I agreed, and that's why we could have announced it a long time ago, but there was no rush. I said I wanted the O2 Arena. I love the arena. I think it's the best arena on the planet. Secured, the opponent secured. Everything's sorted, So the relationship's solid, strong, and I'm just looking forward to getting in the ring and getting it on. It's been so long. Feels like a lifetime away that I beat up Derek Chisora, and I'm looking forward to dishing out some more punishment. It's been too long.
David, did you see it as a gamble? Obviously, getting involved with the brothers, because without any sort of boxing experience, were you at all?
Listen, life's a gamble, and if you look through my career, I've gambled at every single stage of my career, and 9 times out of 10, it's paid off big. No different this time. I wanted to do something different. Didn't want to go down sort of the tried and tested route. I wanted to shake things up a little bit, and for instance, go fighting on a free to air. It's not really how it's done normally. To go to an arena in the middle of January, without a title fight, isn't a normal thing to do. It's a gamble. No one might not have turned up. You don't know these things. But, we sat down, we weighed things up. We all of the predictions that we had in terms of ticket sales and interest, it's all been exactly as anticipated. I've got a lot of experience in boxing and the business side of boxing, and everything seems to have... There hasn't been any one particular thing that sort of we've missed out on, or we missed a trick. So I'm really pleasantly surprised so far how things are going. I don't start getting too excited just yet. It's 10 days, anything can happen in the next 10 days. But so far, everything's super smooth, and the excitement's there. Today is the announcement of the television, and people are genuinely excited to sit down and see what I got left.
You've been out the ring for such a long time, over 3.5 years. Cynical people question why you're coming back. I've seen some people suggest you're coming back for money. Some people suggest that you're coming back to what I believe you're coming back to do is just fight, which is what you do. Why are you back?
After the Chisora fight, and answer your question, after the Chisora fight, The whole idea of the Chisora fight was to get a world title fight at Vitaly Klitschko. If people remember, cast your mind back to when we had that punch-up in the press conference. Prior to the punch-up, Vitaly Klitschko said, David and Chisora fight, I'll fight the winner. Thinking I would never fight Derek Chisora because he was a bit of a handful and they didn't think that was my type of thing. So taking him up on the challenge, I fought Derek Chisora, knocked him out. And the plan was to fight Vitaly. He went another way. That fight didn't materialise, didn't answer my calls. Fair enough, he fought Manuel Charr and retired. I then thought, okay, I'll fight in the interim Tyson Fury, just because he's a popular fighter, get him out of the way, and then look for a world title fight. That I just continuously got injured. And why was I going into those fights? I was going into those fights to get in a position to be the world champion. You know, unfortunately, only till now am I physically able to get in the ring and fight. Prior to that, I wasn't. So the motivation now is exactly what it was after the Chisora fight 3.5 years ago. The only difference is I had a load of injuries prior to then. Now I'm healthy, I'm ready to go back. So I'm coming back for the same reason I wanted to fight after the Chisora fight, and that's be the best on the planet and prove that I'm the best on the planet. It's one thing me thinking it. It's another thing me getting out of the ring, getting in there on the ring in front of a world-class opponent and proving it.
You've always been a fan person, someone who sort of said takes note, adores your people that come and watch you. You've always been that way inclined. Do you believe that over the years that ultimately have you or have you not let your fans down in some ways?
It depends. My real fans, I don't believe so. I believe they understand injuries happen. They understand. Maybe they felt let down when I lost against Vladimir Klitschko, but was the people let down when Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas or Sugar Ray Leonard lost to Roberto Duran? It just happens. Sometimes you get it right. Sometimes this is boxing. And people let down when Pacquiao lost. Obviously, whoever your fans are at the time want you to win, and when you don't win, they're upset about it. They're disappointed. You've let them down because you lost the fight. Of course, people may have been disappointed, but time heals all wounds, and whatever. I'm sure people still ain't sore about me losing to that was 5 years ago, over 5 years ago now. I think people have got over that now, and they're looking to the future. So my real fans, they're excited. They're turning up at the O2 Arena to support me. So the real fans are the ones I care about. The ones who write you off after you lose one fight on points, they're not really. They weren't really my fans in the first place. They're just sort of boxing enthusiasts whoever's winning. They're Golovkin fans now, and if he ever loses, he was no good. Now we're on to the next person. They only support it's like the people who support whoever's won the Champions League. That's my new team. I'm that team. I'm with a winning team. But true fans are the ones who are with you from the start. The ones who were there when I let them down against Carl Thompson, but they stayed on the bandwagon and they was there, and then they reached the heights of the Undisputed Cruiserweight Channel, and they supported it. And then I did the same thing at heavyweight. They supported it. I then lost the titles. Now I'm coming back. They're back on the ride because they know that I've achieved it. They know that although it didn't go great for me on occasion, I came back to achieve what I said I'd achieve, and I'm now saying I'm going to go back and win the heavyweight title. And the true fans are back on it with me.
Cynical people that still question whether your injuries were legitimate, what do you say to them? I know you get it because I've seen people tweet you about pull-outs and things like that, but what about people that question whether the Manuel Charr, the Tyson Fury, both times, whether they were legitimate? What do you say to those people?
I think they need to get a new hobby. That's in the past. Forget about it. If that's what they're worrying about, they need a girlfriend, I think.
But this is a new chapter in your life now, isn't it? After having so much time out, this is a new chapter. It starts with Mark Mori next week at the O2. How quickly do you think you can get yourself back on the scene?
I don't know. I'm literally haven't fought a day past Mori. That's it for me. I don't want to start thinking, okay, after Mori, I'm going to fight him, and it'll go down this route, because boxing can change at any time. Anything can happen. You don't know who's good. The same night as that I fight Mori, Deontay Wilder's fighting in the States for the WBC title, and the IBF title, the one that's been vacated not vacated, that's been stripped off of Tyson Fury, has been contested for. So technically, there could potentially be two new world heavyweight champions on the same night as I'm coming back. So you don't know what way you're going to go. And it's exciting times in heavyweight boxing. You know, I was commentating for Sky with Anthony Joshua and Dylan White. Fantastic event, fantastic night of boxing, great excitement, and it's nice to know that, you know, the heavyweight division is really thriving, particularly in Britain.
Do you see a future for you still on Sky pay-per-view?
You never know. You know, if there are fights that the fans want to see, that's all dependent on how I look against Mark Mori. If I look terrible against Mark Mori, you get knocked down 10 times, then maybe not. If I look fantastic and people then say, okay, I reckon David actually knocked Anthony Joshua out. That might then get people interested, and it might make a big fight. But it depends how we both continue our careers. You know, I'm focused on this fight. I think Anthony Joshua is got another fight, I think, with maybe Chisora or someone like that, a European-like fighter. If he can pass that test, then you never know. You know, I'd be up for it. It'll definitely do great numbers on whatever platform it's on, and it's a fight I think definitely a lot of boxing fans would want to see. But that's all possible down the road stuff. Nothing happens if January 16th doesn't go the way I want it to go. So there's no need me looking at these big mega fights if this fight in front of me with Mori doesn't go to plan.
You've already been heavyweight world champion, undisputed cruiserweight champion. So left for you in your career, is it about the big fights? Is it about big money? Is it about winning a world title again?
It's about big fights. You know, it's about winning big fights that the fans want to see. That's it. And with those big fights come the money. If you're just looking after the money, going after the money, you're gonna go the wrong way. But if you look for the best possible fights, that's what I've done throughout my career. Look for the best possible fights, the biggest possible fights, and it's worked out fine for me. So I'll continue to do that. You know, it's no secret who the fans want you to fight. If it's possible to negotiate and make the fight happen, then that's what I do. I'm a prize fighter. I've never sort of run from a challenge. You know, I'm used to being a small guy in the fight, and I'll continue that mindset in this next phase of my career.
Have you got a route in mind on?
I haven't genuinely got no route in mind, none.
So there's not a specific, like I said, the Wilder route or the Fury route. There's nothing you're chasing at the moment.
No, because everything's uncertain. You know, you can't really go for Tyson Fury or Klitschko because you don't know what's going to happen in the rematch. You can't go for Deontay Wilder now because he's fighting, he could lose. So what else is there? You can't go Shagayev because Shaga's fighting Brown. So everything's up in the air. So there's no reason to start aiming at anyone yet. It's just get this one out of the way, see how I feel. I'm thinking I'm going to look fantastic. I'm going to put a really good night on. I've heard through the grapevine that this guy is super tough. You know, a real strong guy, big heart, and he's been training super hard. And he got here, you know, nearly a week ago, and he's taking this fight seriously. And I'm anticipating a stern test. You know, I'm hoping this guy can really extend me because it's been a long time since I've gone past 5 rounds, 5 years. So it'd be nice to get some good rounds under my belt against a tough opponent who's going to ask some questions, push me, test me, and I'm going to need to dig in. You know, I don't believe this type of guy you can just blast out real quick. He hasn't shown anything in his career that suggests that. So I'm hoping that I'm training for a hard 10-round fight, real hard 10-round fight. He's preparing for the same, and I think you're going to get a good night's entertainment.
Just a couple of quick things, David. I think you've got on record as saying you believe that Tyson Fury will beat Vladimir Klitschko in their rematch. Is this true, yeah?
Yes, I believe he'll win the rematch. Whether he walks away with the titles is a different matter. You know, I think he will win the fight like he won the first fight. But the scores for the first fight were really close, in my opinion. I thought Tyson Fury won it by a long shot. And if they were that close, they could be. If all it takes is Vladimir Klitschko to win 2 or 3 more rounds, that's it, and he would have won the fight. And whether he wins or not, I just hope that justice prevails and the true winner comes away. Because there's nothing worse than when someone goes to someone's foreign country and gets ripped off. I feared for Tyson Fury in that last fight. I thought I couldn't see the Germans letting him walk out with the title, but they did. Maybe because they knew there was a rematch. There's a rematch clause. Whether they'll let him walk out with the titles this time round, maybe Tyson Fury's going to have to nail him to the canvas this time round to really prove that he's the winner. You know, we all know that he won that first fight, but the second fight, I don't know, it's a bit up in the air. I believe he'll win the fight, but whether he walks out with the titles is a whole different story.
Just finally, obviously, announced as your new trainer a while ago now, Shane McGuigan. You're also being reunited now with George Groves. How's that been?
You're not bad. He's got his own gym as well. We don't train in the same gym. He's got his own gym in Hammersmith, I think it is. You know, my gym's down in Vauxhall. So paths acrossed a few times at McGuigan's gym. You know, he's looking good. I haven't seen him sparring yet, but from all accounts, he's back to his best, and he's looking at doing what he's just fell short of a few times, and that's winning the super middleweight championship. You know, a guy who's already beat James DeGale is a solid world champion now. So there are big fights out there for him. You know, I think Shane believes that he's improving him, and he's got a new lease of life, and he's looking great. So once again, the proof of the pudding's in the eating, and he fights at the end of January. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be a fun fight. Did
you play a part in his role to come to Shane McGuigan?
No, nothing like that. I think George contacted Shane directly, and I think George is his own man. He doesn't follow anybody. He's a smart guy, always has been, and he makes his own decisions. And I think he looked at the landscape of trainers and saw what Shane had been doing with Carl Frampton, and the fact that I had trained with him, and must have realised that this is the guy to train with. So he worked with him for a few sessions, and I think it gelled between the two of them. And for all accounts, he's looking back to his very best.
Okay, right. So all eyes now on next week, Saturday the 16th at the O2. As regards, obviously, Steve Goodwin's supplying your undercard. Billy Dibb was on it, not on it anymore. Yeah. Singleton versus O'Donnell will be your co-feature.
Yeah, good fight. Looking forward to that. A good sort of trade fight. People are excited about that. And that's what you want nice nip and tuck fights that people get excited about. And obviously got a few undefeated fighters on the undercard as well. So it'll be a mix of different fighters on the show. You know, my old pal Tony Dodson's on there as well.
Look-alike Wadi Camacho.
Yeah, Wadi Camacho's there as well. He's actually been helping me out with some sparring. Real nice lad. He's looking forward to it. So it's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it, and looking forward to the feedback I get after the fight as well. You know, not just about my fight, about the whole show, the production, you know, the catering, everything. I just want to make sure it's a nice event, and I'm happy with where things are.
Do you know how much of the card Dave will show?
There's a 2-hour slot, 9 till 11. So all of the action. My fight goes live, I think, 9:30ish, I believe. So I think they're gonna whatever the best of the action, the best of the early action, they're gonna play after my fight, depending on how long my fight goes.
You expecting it to go long?
Hopefully it goes long.
Why hopefully it goes long?
Because I haven't been in the ring. I haven't been in the ring for so long. It's nice to get some rounds under my belt. You know, someone show me some stuff, and you know, get into it. It's been so long since I had a fight. I don't want it to last 10 seconds. That's no good for me, is it? Because you don't shed no. Not that I believe in ring rust, as people always say. You need competitive rounds to progress. It's like sparring. It's like saying sparring, having one sparring partner and knocking them out in 10 seconds. Next day, another sparring, 10 seconds. What do you learn from knocking someone out in 10 seconds other than you got a hard punch? And I've got a hard punch, so there's no benefit in me knocking out sparring partners. So I'd rather get lots of rounds. I did 9 rounds the other day, 9 rounds time before that. So it'd be nice to do 9 rounds in a fight, and everyone gets to see 9 rounds of the Haymaker blasting someone around. Make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense, but you won't win either way, because if you blast him out early, people will go, oh, he was a bum. If you take him the rounds, then people will go, he should have blasted him out early. So yeah. Someone will moan about something.
As long as people enjoy the fight, as long as the people there and the people on TV are enjoying a good boxing match, that's what I want. And they don't have to pay for it, so they can't complain that much, can they, really?
No, in the wake of everyone moaning about pay-per-view things, you're showing it on Dave for free, so what can people really moan about?
Not much. Maybe my hairstyle.
What's going to happen with your hair?
I don't know. I'm still in 2 minds about what's going to happen with it.
Still coming out to the same tune, aren't you?
I am. I'm coming out with the same tune. Ain't no stopping us now. That's my signature tune. So it's like Chris Eubank not coming out to Simply the Best. It just something wouldn't be right. And I'm looking forward to it. But I don't know what to throw. I'm gonna do it half throw, half braided, or something different.
Definitely don't come into it looking like that. All right, well, listen, David, fight week is next week. Schedule for that should be announced shortly.
Yes.
Understand. I know what it is.
We like to leave things to the last minute here. Yeah. We don't like to rush announcements. We just, when people are ready to know, they'll know. Not a moment before.
Okay, you're going to do a little bit of filming with the YouTube phenomenon, which is KSI. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm in awe of that guy, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit because his YouTube views are where I want to get my YouTube views. So it's good stuff.
Get some tips off him afterwards.
Yeah, I might do. All right, David. Listen, best of luck with everything, and roll on, Haye.
Haye, Dave. It's free on Dave. 9 o'clock. Don't miss it. Or come down to the O2 and watch me do it in real life.
All right. This is KUGAN CASSIUS, David Haye, the Haymaker for IFL TV. Thank you very much.